So we're actually starting to get some more Packers news today. We just had a video that Christian Watson has officially signed his contract, his rookie contract. And now we have some more news from Field Yates saying the Packers tried out veteran wide receiver John Brown, who bounced around with 4 teams last season. So I'm hyped that we're actually starting to get some news because we have been in that dead period, that time of the season where nothing's happening. But now we can sense the season coming as this news comes out. So right now, the Packers do have lots of new wide receivers on this team from the offseason, 3 draft picks, adding Sammy Watkins. And earlier today, I made a video on T.Y. Hilton saying that it could make sense for T.Y. Hilton to sign with the Packers. I think he could be cheaper than a Julio or an Odell. And I said the Packers don't necessarily need to sign a wide receiver, but why not add some more veteran wide receivers here? There's going to be injuries during the season. You might as well have some more guys on this roster. So the Packers have actually tried out wide receiver John Brown, who they may want to add. We'll see if they decide to. So I want to look at John Brown, sort of what he's done the past couple seasons and how he's looked in his entire career. So starting off with the Cardinals, being a third-round draft pick, he had some very productive seasons. 2015, 1,000 yards on 65 receptions. We have 2018 with Baltimore, 715 yards, 42 receptions. 2019, only a few years ago, 72 receptions, 1,060 yards. And then 2020, his second year with Buffalo, he had 33 receptions for 458 yards, but unfortunately for him, he was only able to play in 9 games after dealing with injuries. And after those injuries, he was unable to stay with the Bills. They released him. And then in 2021, this past season, he spent the year with 4 different teams. I want to show you here from Wikipedia the 4 teams he was with. So first off, the Raiders. Signs to the Raiders, released on August 31st. Signs with the Broncos in October, then released a few weeks later. Signs with the Jaguars in November to the practice squad, then released from the practice squad. Signs with the Buccaneers on the practice squad, and then his contract expires with the Buccaneers. So honestly, I'm a little curious as to why he was unable to make a roster spot. While just 2 seasons ago, back in 2020, he was still playing pretty well overall in the games he was playing. 33 receptions, 458 yards. In 2019, 1,060 yards. So I honestly don't know what's going on with John Brown. He is getting up there in age. Maybe there are some injuries still holding him back, because you would have thought that with his production in the past that maybe he would have been able to make it to a roster and play in some games for these teams. He did play in like 13 snaps last year, but he had 0 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards. So I don't know if he still has anything left in the tank. I'm guessing that's why the Packers brought him in for a tryout. This doesn't mean they're going to sign him. Maybe if they see what they like and they think he can add some production to this team, maybe they will. And if he did, I would assume it would be like a minimum kind of contract, just because when you look at last year with him not producing, year before with him, being injured a lot, the Packers would likely get him for a very, very cheap deal. And I think if we look last year at the 2 signings that really paid off for the Packers, we have Devondre Campbell coming in for like $2 million, and then Rasul Douglas for another cheap contract as well. And honestly, the moment the Packers signed those players, they weren't very exciting signings, because if we look at those players' pasts, they weren't very productive previously in the past couple seasons. So you never know who can come in and really produce at a high level, especially on the kind of contract they're on. And so John Brown, the Packers are probably looking at John Brown saying, okay, do you still have what it takes? Could we get you in here on a very, very cheap contract and see this pay off? Because I think for Brian Gutekunst, he likes to find those players that no one's really looking at, the guys that you wouldn't expect to come in and produce at a high level. And maybe John Brown could be one of those guys. If you look at his 40 time, he is insanely fast. He runs a 4.32 40. So maybe the Packers want to use him a little there on the outside. If we look here at how he has been used in the past few seasons when it comes to where he lines up, as you can see here, this is from like his entire career. But in 2020, he was outside 91% of the time. 2019, 79% of the time. And then 2018, 75.9% of the time. So if he came to Green Bay, likely to be used on the outside. We already have lots of players on the inside with Amari Rodgers, Randall Cobb. I feel like we're sort of secure there. So maybe John Brown comes in and can be another weapon, a depth piece for the Packers who has that speed. Maybe he's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still probably pretty quick considering he used to run a 4.32 40. So we will see if the Packers decide to sign him. I'll keep you guys up to date. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all things Packers, news, updates, everything Packers, that's what this channel is for. So feel free to subscribe. Drop a like on the video. We're getting close to 21,000 subscribers. I think we're like 400 or 500 away. So if you want to help me get there, feel free to subscribe. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.